So, you think owning a mobile bar is just making drinks and having fun? Think again. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Rusty Bartender. On this channel, we talk about how to run your mobile bar, and we also make cocktails. Let's talk about some stuff. So recently, I've noticed that on Instagram and TikTok, I've seen quite a few mobile bar influencers talking about just how easy it is to make handfuls of cash owning and operating your own mobile bar. And well, yes, there is a lot of money to be made from your mobile bar. It's definitely not easy. And it's not all shiny and rainbows like these influencers would like to make you think. So I'm going to go through some of the challenges that I've experienced with my own mobile bar. And I guess by watching this video, you can learn from my mistakes, and you're going to find out stuff that you might just not have even thought about before it actually happens to your own business. And stick around for the last thing I'm going to talk about, because it's probably the most important thing that you're going to learn when you're starting out your mobile bar. And just in case you're wondering why I'm looking down sometimes, it's because I'm reading from a laptop. I can't think. I can't keep all these thoughts in my head. I had to write them down. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that actually just happened literally just this weekend, and is probably the reason why I'm going to make this video. So we're going to talk about festivals and markets when you actually go there with your mobile bar. So this is my experience from this weekend. So just because you've been to one festival and it was busy, it doesn't mean that the next festival that you go to is going to be busy. So usually in my experience, whenever we do festivals or markets, we've done anywhere between 300 to 400 cocktails in one particular day, and that's in the space of maybe 4 hours. We've even done one big festival where we did over 1,000 cocktails over the space of 2 days. But literally this last weekend, we were at a local festival in town. And in past years, that festival has been so busy. It's had massive crowds, like literally the whole town goes to this one festival because it's the only thing going on in town. Weather forecast was great. It was going to be a big weekend. So I loaded up on alcohol, expecting maybe do 400, 500 cocktails easy. So I was lowballing at the time. So I got enough I bought enough alcohol to maybe cover us to do 600 cocktails, just in case. I knew we weren't going to hit 600, but I was aiming for 400. And obviously, you're not just buying the alcohol, you're buying straws, plastic cups, fruit, mixers, you're paying your staff, you've organized staff for it. Anyway, turns out the numbers who went to the festival were pretty poor. And legit, I reckon we sold 60 cocktails at most over the course of the whole day. I had to send staff home. So no doubt, this was a kick in the guts for me, because I was expecting a big day and we didn't get it. So we lost money pretty much by going to this festival. I have no doubt that you're going to experience this with your mobile bar somewhere along the line. You're going to go somewhere expecting it to be busy, and it's just not. But you know what? When something like this happens to you, you just have to go again. You have to suck it up, regroup, go again. We've got another festival this Saturday, so I'll probably make a cocktail list that's going to reuse all the alcohol that I actually bought for that last event, and we'll reuse it. Hopefully, it'll be a good weekend. We'll recoup the money that we lost last weekend. Everything will be good. So basically, don't count your chickens before the hatch. Isn't that what the saying is? I think so. Anyway. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the potential jobs and inquiries that you will receive for your business. So I've always thought that my communication between myself and potential customers was pretty good. It wasn't until something that happened quite recently that I've had to start implementing something new when talking to potential new customers. So here's the backstory to this. A while ago, and I mean a while ago, it was a few months ago, a potential client reached out by email inquiring about hiring out our bar for a private party. I gave the date, I checked the date, it was available. I replied the very same day to this email, explaining that, yeah, the date is available. And I sent them all the info about the costs, what we do, how much it costs, what services we provide. Give them the link to the website. So fast forward 2 months later from the original contact, and they hadn't replied. But somebody else in the meantime had inquired about the same date and booked the van. 2 days later, after this person booked the van, the original person who had emailed, who had never got back to us, sent me an email saying they want to book the date. I emailed them back saying, sorry, we've actually taken a booking for this date already. It's like, we never heard back from you. So they emailed me back saying that they were not happy and that we were so unprofessional for giving the date away, even though they had never responded to me from my original email. For some reason, in their mind, because they inquired about a date, they were under the assumption that that date was going to be reserved for them, even though they had never replied to the original email, which did explain that to confirm a booking, you needed to pay a deposit. They then replied to my email, which I had apologized in, and pretty much told me where to go. They then replied to the email, which I had apologized in, and told me that they would never have done such a thing. And they were going to let everybody know about how unprofessional and bad we were at business. Now, I don't like upsetting people, and we actually take a lot of pride in our Google review, which is at 5 stars. We've never had anything less than 5 stars. Touch wood. And I was thinking to myself, I mean, I did send an email and never heard back. I also guided them to the website with the terms and conditions, and I had explained to them that an inquiry doesn't mean a booking. But at what point is my responsibility to chase up customers who don't respond or reply to emails? So my solution to this moving forward is by telling potential customers upfront from the very first contact who want to hire us that to confirm a booking, you must pay a deposit. And until that time that the deposit is paid, we will be potentially talking to other customers for the same dates until the booking is confirmed. I always thought that everybody knew what the difference is between an inquiry and a booking, but unfortunately, I was wrong and have now learned from my mistakes. I'm hoping that this can help you as well. Okay, next we're going to talk about licensing and permits. So pretty much every country has their own set of rules regarding the sale of alcohol at events. A lot of these can be time sensitive. For example, in Australia, when you apply for a temporary liquor license, you have to apply for it 5 weeks in advance. And here's my 10 cents. This creates a lot of stress and anxiety. The process to apply for them is relatively simple, but it's pretty much the wait until you find out that you've got the license that gets to you. Because every one of these temporary licenses that I've ever applied for, and I think I've done over maybe 14 or 15 of them now, I've had every single one of them accepted, but in every single instance, they have waited until like 2 days before an event to actually tell me that I've got it. So you apply for them 5 weeks out, but you usually hear back 2 days before the actual event. You stress the entire time waiting until the actual event, and it sucks. It's stressful because there's no doubt that if you're like me and you've got a festival or market coming up, you want to be organized. You want to have bought all your alcohol, everything else that you need, organizing staff before the event. But you're doing this before you've even got your license to get to that event. And also, the people who organize these festival and markets have probably emailed you about 100 times asking you, have you got your license yet, before you get there. And you know what? I would love to have a solution for everybody for this, but I don't. But it might just lessen your anxiety knowing that this happens to everyone. Okay, before I talk about the last thing, consider smashing that like button. It literally only takes a second, and because I'm such a small channel, it really, really helps us getting shown to more people. And also, comment what other topics you want me to talk about. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is patience. With any business, when you're starting out, you need to have patience. Starting out a mobile bar is no different. Just because you've started and you bought your mobile bar, whether it be a van, horse float, folding bar, and you're ready to go, it doesn't mean that you're going to be busy from the get-go. In fact, why is somebody going to hire you? Do you have any reviews yet? How's your social media? Have you advertised? You're not going to have any word of mouth either because you haven't had any jobs yet. So you need to think about how are people going to find out about your business? In fact, if I was starting out all over again, this is what I would do. I would start a social media page for your business 3 to 4 months out before you're even ready to go. Because let's be honest, when you're ready to go, the people who were thinking about hiring a mobile bar for their events were thinking about it 3 or 4 months ago, maybe even up to a year ago. So just because you're ready to go, your potential clients were ready to go 3 or 4 months ago. So that's all I've got for today's episode. I'll post a link somewhere to another video where I talk about how to actually get more potential jobs. And this has worked for us so well in the past. In fact, we're actually reaping the rewards this year by employing some of those strategies. And check out the mobile bar playlist for other videos which are on the same topics. And also my cocktail video recipes. If you need some inspiration, I've got loads of cocktail videos. Go watch them, please. Anyway, thank you for watching if you stayed this long. I'll see you on the next one.